Hey everyone, this is Pasquale. Gonna show you a little bit of what I've been dealing with this week, and rather than turn in nothing and get a 0, I'm gonna just give a quick video rundown of where I went wrong and why I was unable to turn in a completed project this week. So I downloaded CodeIgniter because it was the recommended application. A lot of people had kind of said it was one of the easier frameworks to use, so I went along with that. And first started out with the documentation, looking through it, trying to understand how to set up the model view controller stuff, and they've got some basics here. Um, you can kind of see from my leftover links here where I've been that I didn't get very far with it. I was able to get it installed. I kept a fresh copy in my Finder that I could keep just reopening if I needed to start over, because here's take one and this one failed, didn't work at all. I did a second attempt, and this is the one that I linked up for the assignment for the week. This one I was actually able to pull in the data and get that working just from my database that I have set up here with SQL Pro. I had this idea for a brewery with different levels of inventory accessed by the brewer or the distributor, where the brewer could see what ingredients they had and how much, and the distributor could see what bottled beers they had ready to sell or distribute to different markets and how many they had in how many cases they had in stock. So that's all pulling in, but it's pulling in everything. Like you can see, this is one of the bottled beers, this is one of the ingredients. Um, that worked. The problem is it just the documentation didn't lend itself very well to helping me understand the what we learned in the previous SSL class, as far as setting these up with ourselves without a framework and doing it with a framework. So this all made a lot of sense to me. I set up this. I kind of ran through what they were saying. Pages.php. I put this in there. I came down here. I went into the views templates header.php. I created that file. I did this. I also created the footer in the same place in the views folder, and all of that seems to have worked. But this was where I kind of got thrown off. Adding logic to the controller, he goes through this and he kind of makes sense of it at first, but then he says, in order to load these pages, you'll have to check whether the requested page actually exists, and he gives you this line of code. And nowhere above this section of code or below in any of the copy does he tell you where this is. I don't know if I have to create this and put it in a folder like he specifies up here. I don't know if this is an existing file that comes preset with CodeIgniter. If it is, I've kind of gone through every folder, looked at every file in Sublime Text. What I do is I navigate to the folder in my terminal, I hit SUBL period, and then it opens it up in here like a project, and I can see everything. I've been in every folder, I've been in every file, and not seeing any code that looks like what he's showing in the documentation here. So I'm guessing we had to create this and put it somewhere, but he doesn't say which folders to put it in. And so that's where I kind of fell off the tutorial that's provided on the CodeIgniter page. So I started scrambling by about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, being unable to get it to work. Went out onto YouTube looking for some CodeIgniter tutorials, and there are some really advanced ones out there that do things that I don't think we needed to do this week. I found this one by Anthony David, and it's actually very easy. He helped get it installed, did this intro to MVC pattern. I mean, you can see I've watched 3 of these. By the time I got to this third one, I was completely lost. It didn't make sense. The things that he was typing, I was typing into my my PHP files, and my results were not mirroring what he was getting as his results in the tutorial, and so right there everything fell off and I couldn't go any further. And it would have been nice because he's got some good stuff in here for form examples, form validation, a login system, which part of my my PRD document was to create a login, have the user, the admin, the distributor, the brewer, and even an external distributor that couldn't modify any of the inventory. He could just kind of see what was available. But the brewer and the distributor were going to be able to internally log in and update, add ingredients, add bottled beers, update the amounts that were in there. And I just couldn't get any of it to work. So like I said, I'm at a loss. It's Sunday at 7 p.m. I don't think there's any chance of me really completing this by 11:59 p.m. So I'm turning in something rather than nothing, hoping I can get, I don't know, some insight this week and still pass the class. If not, I'll retake it. But I did work on this week, and I didn't do it, you know, half-heartedly. I really did try to understand it, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Good luck to the rest of you.